Okay, so hello, I'm Stef. I'm a hacker, and for this hack, I wanted to team up with an artist, and this is Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm a contemporary artist, and I wanted to obviously pair up with a hacker.
Match made in heaven. So this is Cryptographics. Last year, if you were here, you know that I did something called the Data Necklace, which was a data physicalization project. Sounds fancy. This is what it looks like. It's wider than that. It's a Twitter feed that's turned into a necklace. So I was taking personal data using a laser cutter and turning it into a kind of wearable representation of that data. It's quite an interesting idea. And obviously, the best thing to do at Hack Day is to go deeper on the thing you did last time, right? So, laser sharks. It's got to be laser sharks, right? So I looked into this, a little research. I spoke to all these people about it, went to zoos and stuff. Yeah, the insurance was pretty intense. So sadly, no laser sharks this time. But what we did have was this. Okay, anyone in the room know what this is? Wow, okay, you're geeks. Can you leave? This is a fingerprint that comes up when you create a new cryptographic key on the command line when you're trying to talk to a remote server. Yeah, and that's confusing. So what they did is they tried to make a graphic that represents that so humans can understand what I just said. This represents a secure way of talking to another server. It encrypts your communications with that server, and this tells you whether or not it's the real one. I also looked at QR codes, and I don't know about you, I find these things really ugly, but they're interesting. They're a way of holding information in an image. So that's two ways. And then I looked at tangrams. I don't know if you guys have looked at these things. They're really fascinating. You can do lots of stuff with just simple triangles and shapes and puzzles. And then we were talking about Aztecs and Mayans, and we went off on a tangent, so we won't go too much into that. But they're cool, tangents and lasers and Aztecs. It's great. So what that came down to was an idea that wouldn't it be interesting if you could take some information and encode it visually as an image in a way that it looked like a thing you could buy in IKEA? Wouldn't that be ace? You could hide stuff in full view of everybody and no one would know what it was. And so we made this visual language that converts A into a simple triangle, B into a different coloured simple triangle, and so on. There's a bit of complexity here. You have to have 4 colours. You have to have a variety of different shapes and rotations. The end result is that you can take any string of characters and turn it into a graphic. And if you run it through an encoding algorithm first to encrypt it, you have a method of converting any piece of information, a secret, a web connection, a URL, a message, anything at all, into a representation. That's upside down, dude. Don't do that again. So the idea here is we can take information and hide it in plain view in an encrypted version. So this is my PIN number. And that would give you access to this bank account. Seriously, I'm not joking. I just took my PIN number and I encoded it. It looks like this, guys, over here, this one. Okay. Now, the thing is, we spent the day just kind of working this out together, looking at what you could do with it. And we thought we could do something really interesting. So, Liz, tell us what we do next.
So the other thing that we thought about is if you've got this important information, what are you going to do with it? So one idea is you've got a key and then you have an image. So say something like a PIN, you've got lots of money, you want to pass it on, you give the key to your lawyer and you give an object to your family. So when you pass away, the lawyer gives the key to your family member and then using the object, they have access. So we started thinking about family heirlooms and we started talking about. He did jewelry last year, so we're like, okay, let's forget jewelry. And we looked up family heirlooms, and we saw quilts. And I'm a quilt maker, so I thought, I will make a quilt. And instead of using a PIN number, I'm gonna do a secret. So this is my secret, encrypted, and then coded in our visual language, and then cut into pieces of fabric, and then sewed and ironed and all of this with a lot of help from people. But yes, in the last 20 hours.
I don't know what it is. I didn't even find out, so I don't know even what that says. But anyone who has the password can get it back out of it. So her grandchildren could find out one day. So that's those ones. We thought we'd give you a challenge. One of these images is crackable. And that's the second image here. Not sure if we've got this feed. So this larger purple image, the last one there, that's a challenge to you. Can you crack that? Because I don't think you can. I think it's, until we get something like quantum computing, I don't think that you can actually do it. So my challenge to you is please crack this image. But I thought I'd go one further. And this is the final piece. Yeah, if you pick that up for me. I've got a image on the screen, if that helps. It might be better than that. So just flip to the other feed, that'll probably be easier. So I spent the day yesterday in a laser cutter. I got back to lasers. Guys, lasers. You need more lasers at Hack Days. And this is exactly the same thing as I just shown you. It's an encoding of something turned into a physical object that's decodable, and it contains something. And I've been asking a few people to take guesses, so maybe a few of you could just throw out some guesses as to what this is. Rickroll. Damn! Obviously! No, it's not a Rickroll. Anybody else? Oh, they are hiring. We are hiring, yes. I'm not advertising through physical laser cutting. No, this is interesting because I've put a one-time relay to a Bitcoin into an image. So this image, this physical thing, actually has the value of a Bitcoin. And so if you can get it, or I give you the code to it, then you have it. So it's turning that into a method of transport and storage of these things, which I think is quite interesting. It is. It's very, very unwieldy, but you could put a Bitcoin wallet into it, for instance. Anyway, let's not go too far down that direction. Now, I was going to end up with a quick demo of what we've got, because we built a website for you. And this is the last tiny bit. I don't need to demo this too much because it's flipping obvious. You go to cryptographics.io, and you can create one. And it runs locally in a browser. It doesn't go through the internet, so you don't have to give me your password or anything. Anyone can make one of these now. Who has a secret? Oh, actually, I know what the secret is.
I think we built this because we imagined if this wasn't a gallery space or something like that, this could be interactive. So if you created your image, you could print it out, you could mail it to yourself, which means you could put it on a t-shirt, you can put it on a poster, you can make a quilt out of it.
Just read out what my secret is there.
I know what really happened to Ben's beard.
I think you actually do, don't you? I think I was drunk enough to tell you why it's not.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
And what does that look like? That's
Ben's beard.
Ben's beard.
Tattooed on my face.
Thanks, everyone. I'll finish there. Thank you.